And how's it going? How's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, can you please go away? I see that we're streaming. Thank you. Holy, there we go. I just wanted to spotlight myself. How's it going? Oh my gosh. Today we are going to talk about I'm specifically calling this rainbows, butterflies, the shit that I've gone through. I'm really talking about, getting stuck over and over again. It's interesting because I actually just got off a call with a private client, a client in our moneymaker mastermind about, it's like things will go well and then we find ourselves stuck again. Well, things will go well and then we get stuck, and things will go well and then we get stuck. And man, can I relate to that? And it seems like that is how life goes, right? And I believe that that's probably the same for all of you, right? Things will go well and then you get stuck. And so I wanted to kind of give you guys like the evolution of Alyssa J. Dillon, because I don't think I talk about this enough. And it's been a while since I've really introduced myself and who I really am at my core. How I came to be who I am and the evolution of Alyssa J. Dillon and all the times that I've really been stuck. And so, would that be interesting to you guys to hear kind of like my history, my real story of how I got here? And I don't like to talk about myself a lot, but I think it'd be interesting for maybe you guys to hear like the real background of how I got here. Because a lot of times I think it's interesting for people to hear like the real history, right? And I'm going to keep it short. I'm not going to get too much into the history, but um I won't, like, if you guys have questions along the way, I'll keep it as short as possible, but I want to share some lessons. And if you have any questions, like feel free to ask. Any questions you have, feel free to ask. I'll keep the chat up. But I feel like if you guys want to know anything additional, ask away. Ask away. So number one, I want to let you guys know that I never wanted to go to school for accounting. That was not ever my first dream. I actually graduated from high school and I started going to school for human resources, human services. I wanted to help people. That was the first thing I ever wanted to do. That was my first major. And I quickly realized that if I did that, I was likely going to be broke. Do you remember when you start in the education and they're like, this is the jobs that you're going to get? This is the type of jobs you're going to get if you start this career. And so you sit down, your first human services, human resources, it was human services, your first human services class. They're like, these are the types of jobs. And I remember they're like $27,000 an hour is the average salary. And I was like, get me out of here. I was like, I can't do that. So I quickly changed majors. And I remember I took a business class and they talked about accounting. And for those of you who don't know, I was really good at math. Math was like my thing. And so I ended up actually was in the 99th percentile and my at the exams that you take, the placement exams. Um, and so I was like 99th percentile. I was super advanced in math. And so I was like, well, I'll just go for accounting. It just seemed like the logical thing to do. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. It just was like, I can make more money doing that. Right. And my background is that my mom was pretty much, we were on the poverty line most of my life. My mom worked a lot of jobs. She was a hairdresser. She was, she was a bartender. She just hustled. She was a hustler, right? And who has a mom like that? That was just like, or you were raised by a hustler, right? I think most of us that are entrepreneurs, we have a parent who's just a hustler. Like we learned to hustle. So my mom was a hustler. She was a bartender. She was a hairdresser. We never really had money, but we always had money. Like we always had enough because whenever we didn't have it, my mom could make it. And so that's how it was. I've always been like that. My husband always is like, whenever you need money, you fucking can make it. Like, whenever I want something, I can just go make the money. Like, I'll always figure it out. My mom's the same way. We've never been without anything because she could always make the money she needed. Like, we've never been like broke. We've always had the money. But we never had like a lot. We were borderline we were in the poverty line. So anyways, that being said, I went to school for accounting. I ended up getting a job in accounting. I was in accounts receivable. But interesting enough, in 2009, while I was about to finish my degree in accounting, what had happened is I got a pretty rough phone call. And many of you already know this story. I got a phone call that my mom had actually been shot. And she was the only survivor of a quadruple homicide. So when I say that I really questioned everything, I questioned everything. And I ended up going back to school for psychology because I wanted to go back into I wanted to be a victim's advocate. I wanted to help people. I went back to that. I was like, I want to help people. I really, really at my core wanted to help people. I was like, accounting isn't for me. I want to help people. And so, but I knew human services, I was going to be broke. So if I get a psychology degree, I can work in victim services, I can work in the court system, and I probably can make like maybe closer to 6 figures as some sort of victim support psychologist, right? I failed every psychology class that I ever took, literally. So I was stuck again, right? I was like stuck, even though I loved what I was doing. I loved the idea of helping people in this way, especially after my mom was shot. And those of you who know, my mom survived. She is alive today. She was the only survivor, but it just didn't work. So I finished my degree in accounting, kept my accounting job, stayed in accounts payable and receivable. And get this, you guys, my accounts payable, accounts receivable job was in the arms industry. I worked for the #1 wholesaler of Glock. That's what we were selling. How crazy is that? So I had just gone through crazy enough. I was in this arms retailer. It was just a really wild time in my life. It was around guns all the time. Working mostly male dominated industry with guns, had gone through this experience of my mom being shot, dealing with the PTSD of all of that. It was just a really wild time, right? And so I went through a lot of emotional distress, and I was, needless to say, I went through a lot of anxiety. I lost a lot of friends. And so I really lost myself in that time. Found myself really unhappy, and finished my degree though, but I decided to excel in my career, and I decided to go back to school for accounting. I went to RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology, which is a great school. It's a private school in New York, and went back to school for accounting there. And that was fun. Love RIT Tigers. And most people don't know this, but I actually, guys, I'm 1 credit. It's technically 3 credits away from having my bachelor's degree in accounting. I did not finish my degree. And it's because of a gen ed. I finished all of the accounting curriculum. I didn't finish political science 2. POLS 2 is what I am missing. POLS 2. That's it. And it is because I took a job as a CFO in a nonprofit, because I want to help people, right? So, took on some pretty great jobs during that time. It took on a job as a controller, took on a job as a CFO, all in accounting. But I went through a divorce, and I want to say it was 2000, gosh, that would have been 2010. No, I got married in 2010 to my high school sweetheart. Probably got divorced in 2012 then. Got divorced, realized that I had no life because I lost my identity in that divorce, and was really unhappy again, right? Stuck once again. And realized that I really only went to school for accounting. Like at this time, you realize, like when you go through a divorce, who's been through a divorce, right? You realize when you go through a divorce, like it makes you re-find yourself. Like, who am I really? Especially when you get married young. When I went through that, it was like I had to rediscover myself because it was like the death of me and that person. And I was like, damn, like I really only went to school for accounting because I just needed to make a living. Like I had bought my first house by the time I was 21. I was only 23. So I really had to discover who I was again. Right. And I realized that I didn't really like accounting. Right. But it was fine. I just kept going with it and I figured I'd figure out who I was. Well, fast forward, I kept working in accounting, changed jobs a couple more times. 2015, I met my current husband, still working in accounting, had changed jobs probably by this time like 3 times. My husband now, we dated. This poor man, I think he was like, thought I was absolutely insane because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I was pretty much borderline unemployable. Who as an entrepreneur feels freaking unemployable? Like changed jobs, was a controller, took a job. I almost took a job in like accounts payable again because I was like, maybe I'm not cut out for this high stress. Like I was like, I don't know. And then I took the job and then I turned it down. And then the CFO like called me screaming at me because she turned somebody else down that was qualified. Like I was just a complete disaster, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. You know why? Because I didn't want to work for anybody else. That's it. I just didn't want to work for anybody. I was like, I freaking hate everyone. I don't want to work for you people. So finally, I realized I don't want to work for anybody. And I realized this when I had my kids. So 2016, I had my first son. 2017, I had my first son, right? So that fast forward, I have both my kids. I decide I'm just gonna start my own company. Which I'm so thankful I had my kids because they made me realize I just need to be home. I'm gonna start my own company. So 2017, officially start my own company. I have 2 boys at home. I start my own company. Which was, guys, for those of you, if you're on here, who's just getting started? Who's on here is just getting started? Let me know if you're just getting started. So just getting started, 2017, I had 2 boys. I wanted to start my company for the first time. Oh my gosh. I start my company and 2 years in. Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm just getting started too. And I'm how many years in am I? But I feel like I'm just getting started. Uh Starting my business this year, trying for kids. Oh, that's amazing. I wish that I got started before I had my kids because man, it was crazy. But my boys are the reason I really started, right? Quit my job and I took a couple months off to be with them. And I want to say I'm trying to figure out the timeline. Quit my job in like February, March, took some time off, had my first client, really got started, like decided I was going to actually start doing something in June. Got my first client. It must have been June. Got my first clients in June. By August, you guys, I had a $17,000 month. And that's when I realized that money was easy to make. And my first goal was to make $2,000. I was like, or it was actually 1,300. I was like, I just need enough to pay for my bills. And by the end of the year, I was making about $27,000 a month. And I was like, money is so easy to make. Like I could be a millionaire. So by the end of the year, I was like, I could be a millionaire. And so that was in 2017. And by 2019, I decided to step into the coaching space, which I really rejected for a while. Right. So that was like the next time I got stuck was was pivoting. I was like, I can't pivot into the coaching space. And I rejected it, right? Even though what was happening is more and more people were asking me, hey, how are you growing your business so fast? How are you growing your accounting business so fast? How are you growing this? More people were asking me that, with more than they were asking me, Alyssa, give us accounting CFO services, even though that's where my skills were. By the way, it's not what I really wanted to be doing anymore, because I loved marketing. Oh my God, I loved it. It was like, that's what I should have been doing my whole life. It was like I finally found what I should have been doing. Accounting was what I was good at, because it was just what I was good at. It was the logical thing to do. And sometimes there's something that it feels like the logical thing to do because it just happens to be what you fell into. And sometimes there's something that's like serendipitous. Like, it's like, this is the thing that you were always meant to do. And that's what marketing was for me, right? Marketing and helping and serving people. This business I have today was the thing I was always meant to do. Like, it's the thing that makes me believe in a higher power. Like, what I'm doing today is what I always was meant to be doing. It's one of those things that's just like, it feels so crazy. Like, there was always a plan for me, and this is it. So that being said, I struggled to own what I have today, because I felt like, who am I? Right. And so if any of you are in this position right now, I want to talk about this. If any of you are in this position right now, we're like, well, should I do that? Who am I to do that? What if I'm a fraud? What if imposter syndrome? What if people think I'm fake? I haven't done enough in order to claim that. Right. I felt all of those same things. I felt them all, but I wouldn't be here today if I didn't just decide that I had done enough to follow my dreams. So that's the first thing I want to tell you guys. Second thing I want to talk about is that every single time within this business I've ever done the next big thing, every single time, right? Every single time I've come up against something that is said, this is too hard. This is too hard. You should stop. And specifically, I want to talk about events, because our events have been one of those things that have been really hard, right? So, number one, the first thing that people said is, you can't do a big in-person event without doing some sort of small retreat first. And it's like, why? Right? Why? It's like, oh, you won't be prepared. You can't do it. It's like, we did it. Right? Was it hard? Yes, but we did it. You can't be profitable on your first 3 events. Have we been profitable on all of our events so far? Yes. Right? And so there's going to be a lot of people who tell you that you're not capable of doing something, but you have to decide that you're capable of it anyways, right? The next part of this is, every time that we've done something that, number one, people tell you you're not capable of doing, right? People told me I wasn't even capable of doing this business. My dad actually said in front of a group of he came to our event in Buffalo. My dad was talking. Is there anybody on here right now who is there? I don't know if there is. There was a few people at the event. Laura was there. There was a group of us that were at the bar, WXYZ bar. My dad was there. It was Wendy Tibbetts. It was Wendy Tibbetts, Christina, Fritz. There was a couple of us. We were all standing around. My dad was there, and he jokingly said to them, he was like, yeah, when Alyssa told me she was going to start a business, I said, yeah, you are. Sure you are. Like, and he didn't believe me, right? My dad didn't believe me. No one believed that I would start some business and make money, right? Yeah, Corinne, you were there too. I'm pretty sure you were. No one really actually believed that I would accomplish what I've accomplished today. And so my point in saying that is, you have to go wherever you're going, whether anyone wants to get on the bus with you or not. You have to drive the bus, whether anyone wants to go with you or not. Right. And that's been like the moral of my story forever. I got on the bus, I put the thing in gear, and I'm driving. You either get in or not, but I'm going. Right. It's like, I'm going. You can come or don't. I don't care. We're going there. I have a destination. It's in the GPS. And I'm not going to let anything you say to me, whether you think I'm capable or not, I don't care. That's where I'm going. And every single time I've done it, everybody just asks me how. They don't believe me, and then they're asking me how I did it every single time, right? And so my point in this is you guys have to be your biggest cheerleader over and over and over again. Everyone said I couldn't run my first event without doing something in person, small, or a virtual event first. I did it. And it was profitable. It was actually what? 5x ROAs, not A's. I guess it's not ad spend, but it was 5x ROI, return on investment, right? We put 50K in. We did 270,000, 280,000 out. Our first event. It's unheard of, right? And so then we turned around and we did our second event. And here's the thing, it wasn't as profitable. And there's reasons why. Most people in the room were already our clients. That was fine. It was more of a fulfillment event. But what I'll say about our second event is, here's the second lesson I want to tell you guys about our second event is I severely overestimated the support I would get from the people that were local to us. You are likely severely overestimating the support you will get from your friends and family. Stop doing that. I gotta stop doing it. You gotta stop doing it. Your biggest supporters will be strangers. They will be people you do not know. You show up, wake up, serve the people who are showing up for you. It is likely not going to be your friends and family. The only people who showed up at that event in Buffalo, by the way, I have probably 300 plus friends and family in Buffalo. There was one woman from Buffalo at my event, and I just met her 3 weeks ago. She was a complete stranger to me 3 weeks ago. She just moved here from California. I messaged all of my friends from Buffalo and said, "Are you coming to my event?" They all said they were too busy. They were too busy. They had other things going on. Yeah. They had too much going on. They were too busy. Oh, I'll be making a post about this. They are too jealous. It is very hard to see somebody succeeding when you are watching Netflix. It is. I get it. My point is, we want to see other people succeed. We want to see other people do great until they actually are. And then it's really hard because they're not doing as shitty as us, right? Like, oh shit, like you're actually doing things and I'm still sitting around watching Netflix complaining about my life. I liked you better when you were doing that with me. right? And so the reality is that you will outgrow your current network. I promise you. Be prepared for that. Some of you already have, and that hurts. It's hard. I outgrew my network last week. When they didn't show up for me, every single person who's been messaging me, asking me for free advice about their business, guess what I won't be doing? Messaging them back anymore. I have officially outgrown their friendships because they weren't really my friends. They were using me. And I figured that out real quick last week, right? And so know that your friendships, your current network, you will outgrow them. The people that are going to support you, you're going to evolve. It's the harder part of success. It really is. Ashley says, ew. I am resonating with this. Is that really an ew? Ew. It sucks. It really does. It's really one of the harder parts of business is when you outgrow your relationships, when you outgrow your people, what you think are people that are going to be growing with you, and ultimately you outgrow them and you realize that they're really not your support people, that they're really the people who are like leeches that just wanted to use you. And then when you ask for their support, they're not actually supporting you anymore. They're just like, oh no, you were only convenient for me when I needed to use you, right? And then like, man, events are a good way to figure that out, right? So, okay, but anyways, digressing from that, the lesson there for you guys is keep in mind, anytime you do the next thing, am I like breaking out in hives? What is happening here? Jesus. I don't know what's happening. The lesson is here. Right before our event, I was very, very down about the lack of support, right? I was very down about it, like really hurt. I was. And I could have let that affect me, right? I could have let that put me in a really, really bad place. I could have said my Buffalo event is a failure. I could have said that this is a reason to not have our Buffalo event. I could have said this means I'm doing bad. But what I decided is ultimately it means nothing about me, right? Because what we created in Buffalo was still freaking amazing. And it meant nothing about me, right? I still showed up for the people who showed up for me. And it was still an incredible event. We pivoted quickly by doing the virtual event. Who came virtually? Who was there virtually? Drop in the comments. Virtual was amazing. I said I would never, ever do a virtual event. Never say never. That was the third lesson. Never say never. Holy F. Because I didn't have a choice but to do virtual, friends. Let me tell you why. So if you don't know this, I got stuck. 2 weeks leading up to our event, I realized that if I didn't make a pivot and I made a pivot fast, we were going to lose money on our Buffalo event. I would lose my ass. Events cost, if no one has told you this yet, events cost anywhere from $900 to about $1,500 a head per person. You should know that. If you ever want to run events, they are expensive. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Be prepared. So as we were walking into our event, I knew it was going to cost us roughly about $55,000. It cost us $54,000 to do our Buffalo event. Knowing that, as we were walking in, we had about 13 buying units. A person that's coming into the event that could buy or upgrade. Our events are selling events. We do sell at the event. If you were at virtual, you saw us pitch. If you were there, you saw us pitch. We make it feel good. It's not like this, like run to the back of the room and buy our thing or you're going to die forever. We try to make it feel as good as possible. It's an opportunity, but it is a sales event. So we knew that we had about 13 buying units. That being said, we expect for an 80% turnout rate, knowing 20% of people aren't going to show up. You should also know that if you ever do an event, only 80% of people that say they're going to be there are going to be there. That is normal. That's a good turnout rate. So we have 13. You should expect probably only 10 are really actually going to be in that room. Then you should expect to close 50%. That means 5 people will buy. How many people do you think bought at our event in person? Drop it in the comments. Bryn knows. 5. 5 people bought. 5 is right. 5 is accurate. So knowing that only 5 people were likely going to buy at our event, I thought we're probably going to lose money at this event. So we need to do something. We need to do it fast. Ultimately, that put us in a position where I didn't have a choice. I thought we could either go into this knowing that we're not going to do very well. And our product is a product that we sell at the event. I don't mind sharing this with you guys. Our mastermind is pay in full $16,000 at the event. It was pay in full $16,000. With a payment plan, it was 18. So 5 times 16 roughly. We're not doing very well. We're not doing very hot, right? Also because of fulfillment, the fulfillment costs money in itself. We're at a loss. So we have to make more money than that. We have to. Otherwise I'm going to be scraping by here. So we decided to do virtual. So pivot quickly when you need to. Come up with a new plan when you need to. Be open to new ideas when you need to. And so we did, right? We did. So we did virtual. We threw it together really fast. And guess what? Because of that, we made a lot more money, right? We ended up, where are we at? Allie, do you know how many more people we closed because of virtual? It's like,
I think we're at 11 right now in
11?
total.
Total. So another 6 people at this time. And we still have a couple more closes. I think today, we have a couple more calls. So because of that, we're at 11, which our last event, we closed 17 people. Yes, and that is, so Corinne makes a good point. So the reason that we had so few buying units is because everyone else in the room was already a client. So the event was really, it was very client based. And Ashley, yeah, so we do have a couple of calls. We're excited. We're really excited for our calls tomorrow. We think we're going to close almost all the calls tomorrow. So Ashley, don't jinx me there. Just teasing you. I think we have some really great calls tomorrow. So we're excited about some of our calls tomorrow. We feel good about them. So yeah. And most of our, and these are people who are booking the call. They know the price point, right? It's really just answering any questions, going back over the pitch. But so anyways, be available for making big changes. You didn't know the price point, but didn't need to. Oh shit. Well, now you do. Yeah, it's going up. Actually, technically, it did go up on November 1st, but anyone who booked before November 1st, it's not up for you guys yet. We're excited. So, yes, I just love being vulnerable with you guys. You know, I think the biggest thing about the coaching atmosphere is I think everyone still is, it's like refreshing, right? I think there's a lot of people that still sit in a space of everything is like everyone likes to still pretend it's perfect and everything is great, and it's just not, and it's fake and it's bullshit. And I really want to bring something to the space of, here's the deal. When I was starting my business, I couldn't find anyone who was honest and vulnerable. And so I remember sitting alone so many times thinking, am I the only person who is falling flat on my fucking ass all the time? Is anyone else feeling like they're just going through hell? Is anyone else doing this? Like, why do I feel like my hair is on fire? And what I realized as I kept going through the space is like everyone was feeling like that, but everyone was pretending it was rainbows and butterflies, and it really wasn't. So yes. What is this? Yes, yes, yes. Love it. 5 stars. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's like we need more people to be real and honest and vulnerable. And I think that we are changing what the coaching atmosphere looks like. I think we're changing what the game looks like, and that's what I'm set out to do. That's what I want to see happen in our space. Does anyone have any questions? I know this was kind of like, I wanted to just be lax today. I didn't bring anything crazy. I just came off an event and I figured I would just share some of my moments of, you know, reintroduce myself, tell you guys some shit that I've been through. Yeah, I hope it was valuable. It's that you go through the line of like, does anyone really actually want to hear my shit that I have to say? Like I'm just like talking, riffing on all of my crap, but I'm not really teaching anything. I'm not like, and here's how to do a sales call, right? I never know, but hopefully it was good. Yeah. Makes me feel good about my emotional roller coaster. This was good. Okay, good, good. I'm glad you guys like it. Maybe I'll do these once a quarter or something where I just like tell you guys more of my garbage. What am I talking about next week? Next week I'm doing something similar. I'm gonna be honest. Next week I am going to talk about next week I'm talking about silent battles, I think. Because I was like coming off the event, I'm very like, I don't want to have anything. You know what it is the weeks rolling up to the event are very, very intense. And so I was like, give me easy things to talk about. And then I'll go more into training again. Yes. Awesome. 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 Yeah, we have a lot of new people in our audience. Who's new in our audience? We have a lot of new people right now. Where are you all coming from? I'd love to hear where you're coming from. Please tell me that you're coming from my phone. God, I'd love to hear that you're coming from my phone. He's like, not from the state. I mean like from my ads. I'm sorry. Are you coming from ads? Not from the state. I don't mean that. Oh, okay. You came from ads. Ashley Chamberlain says she came from email. How did you get here? How did you get here though? Linda came from an ad from the 7 Magic Posts. Is that what you came from? 7 Magic Post ad? Caitlin, yeah, your boot camp ad. I'm like, are the 7 Magic Posts ad getting people to my live? Yeah, Michelle, I recognize you. Boot camp. Okay, so, yep. All right, Linda says 7 Magic Posts. Love it. All right. Very cool. Good. I'm like, are the 7 Magic Posts driving people to the Facebook group, getting people to hang out with us for a little bit? We just need to make sure that that's working because it's expensive. That's the reality, is it's expensive. All right, guys. Good stuff. Well, I hope you're enjoying all these. We're going to be back next week. Oh, I have metrics. I have so many metrics. We have an entire spreadsheet that tracks all of making sure that the 7 Magic Posts are working and making sure we're getting people from that. The thing about the 7 Magic Post ad is we haven't booked a high ticket client from it yet. So who's going to be our first high ticket client? Does anyone right now want to book a call and get in mastermind? Linda, do you want to get on a call with me? I need Linda. Allie's like, we need a high ticket client from are you looking to grow or scale your company right now? Because we need to book a high ticket client. Do you guys like, who's loving this sales strategy right now? Do you guys, Linda's like, stop it right now. You guys are putting me on the spot. Do you want to book a call with me, Linda? Do you need to scale your company? Do you need
Linda,
more
the
support?
call is free. The
It's
call is
free.
free.
It's a free call. You might need
I'm
some
not.
help.
Be surprised at how much money Alyssa can make you. Just saying.
Who's in Mastermind? How good is Mastermind? How good is Mastermind? We're peer friends. Linda's like, I am never getting on this call again.
Oh.
No, this is, so let me just, I'm gonna be like, this is really good stuff right now. So basically how this works, right? So we started running these 7 Magic Post ads back in July, very end of July. So this is what I want to tell you guys about. This is very expensive strategy. So I started running 7 Magic Post ads back in July. I pay an ads team $7,500 to run them, right? $7,500 a month. Then we pay to have the ads, like the ad money to go out, right? So $7,500 plus the money to go out, plus the audience, like the audience has to come in, right? And so what is happening right now is we need them to, these people that are coming into our audience, we need them to start turning over into high ticket clients. Like ultimately that's the end game. Like that's the end game. Like I'm not here to be secret about it. And what's happened is people are coming into the audience, but they haven't turned into high ticket clients yet. So we're like, right now is the time where we're waiting for it to work. Like, we're like, is it going to work? Yeah. Caitlin, go ahead. Say something.
Okay. So you keep saying like, I need them to turn into high ticket clients. That sounds like, come on, guys, I need to make more money. But that is not what Alyssa is about. Okay.
No,
Alyssa is about, I want to help you make more money. Yes,
Yeah.
I get to make money by helping you, but being in her space is all about the community and her building you up, not just about making money. Yes, that's
No.
a sidebar. Like, of course, you're going to make money. You put some money in and you're going to make money out of it. But I don't know if this is your first call or your 10th call, but Alyssa's heart is what is really sold to me.
Yes. Yeah.
I couldn't type that.
I'm thinking like that sounds so terrible by saying like I need to work, but ultimately, yes, it is an expensive test. For ultimately our mastermind is amazing. And the problem that we had in our company, it was traffic, right? It was like, we just had a traffic problem. And so it was like, okay, what if we did it this way? And so we're waiting for the results to happen. Knowing our mastermind is amazing. It's like, okay, we just need to get more people to feel the amazingness. So I will report back, but I can't wait to see.
And when your
Maybe
ads
it'll be
people
later.
figure it out, you'll share it with the rest of us, so we'll know how to do it too.
Well, I fired my ads company today.
Today, I was getting ready to tell you that maybe you should think that.
Fired them. My ads are still on and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well,
Because I've been paying them $7,500 a month and they keep telling me they can't scale them because of back end things. And I'm like, I have a back end product. I don't need you to do that. Why are you waiting to scale my ads because of my back end product? I have a back end product. I need traffic. That's what I hired.
okay,
you
well, I
for.
wasn't gonna tell you that like here on the call. I was gonna send you a message later. It was gonna be like, you need to do something.
Oh my gosh, it's been insane. I'm like, they got me 86 leads in an entire month.
I started an ad with $75 yesterday and I have 40 leads.
Oh, I
Girl.
know. I know.
Oh.
We don't need to complain about my
This
my
is a
ad
lesson.
situation.
You have learned a lesson.
Oh, I've learned a very expensive lesson. And then they were like, well, we just finished writing your webinar. Are you sure that you want to end right now? And I was like, yep. And they sent me a thumbs up. It's fine. I have a call tonight at 7:30 with a new agency. I'm super excited.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
7,500
gonna-
plus the ad spend. Like, it's
Insane.
when I had a profitable funnel, by the way. Profitable. You guys, I'm going to show you guys this. Watch this. For those of you who are bored, you can jump off. We're just riffing now, but this is fun.
This
I
is
love
super
this.
fun.
Yeah, I just love riffing on this stuff. This is high strategy. All right. So basically what this is, and this is Linda. So Linda comes in on www.7, let's show this off, 7magicpost.com, right? So Linda comes in, Linda sees our ad and she's like, oh shoot, I want to get some 7 magic posts, right? This is what Linda found, right? Right, Linda? She's like, I don't know. I don't remember. She's like, I think. So Linda comes in. She's like, I want to learn these 7 magic posts. So she clicks on this, right? And she's like, okay, this is great. Yeah, get instant access. So she pays $5.90. And then once she's in, she can pay to get our upsell, our order bump, right? Our order bump is raise your accounting fees right now. And that is for $37. And then she could ultimately get boot camp, which boot camp is the bomb. Linda, are you in boot camp? Yep, you're in boot camp too? Yeah. Okay, so she's also in boot camp. And so she's in boot camp for $297 also. And so if you're not in boot camp, you get in boot camp for $297, right? So you take the whole thing and then you pretty much are immersed in our world. So what we do on the back end is we pay attention to, I'll show you how we track all this. I can't do it from here. Hold on. Let's go over here. We go to the spreadsheet, and because I'm a crazy person, I track all this. And I pay attention to, right, my ClickFunnels revenue. So how much money people make, how much they spend, right? And then what we spend on ads. So this is the revenue we make on a daily basis, then the Facebook ad spend, and then this is the funnel profit, right? So I want to show you why I fired my ads team. Because I had a profitable funnel. Pretty much, I made a bunch of adjustments on the 6th of October. So starting the 7th, those went into effect. I had a profitable funnel, I had made $779.82. You can see that sum down there, right? Then all of a sudden, my funnel was no longer profitable. And I was like, what is going on? I don't understand. What is going on? I'm so confused, right? Every day we start losing money. You can see this, right? Why are we losing money on a daily basis? All of a sudden, all my funnel profits just going out the window. Now, total month, we've lost $443. You guys see this? I'm annoyed because we had made so much progress. So much progress. Okay, so this is what happened. I'll show you guys. I can go. Corinne, you missed our call, honey. She's like, I don't have anything on my calendar. We had a call today. It's okay. We'll have to reschedule. Let's go to where I fired Rick. Nobody tell him that I'm showing this to you guys. Right here. So my ads, right? The only 7 posts you need to get ideal clients on social media. What do you guys think is the biggest problem with this? Drop it in the comments. I'm live. I'm in my group. I don't care. Kendra's like, D says the title. Kendra's like dying. It doesn't say 7 magic posts. No, you guys are wrong so far. Come on, somebody what's wrong with this ad copy? Why would this make my funnel profits drop so much? It's boring. The colors, no.
I just feel like the whole overall sense of it like doesn't match your brand. Like all the other stuff you post, like none of it matches.
Nope. Nope.
All right, well, just tell us.
Dog whistle copy, guys. It doesn't tell who it's for. Where does it say it's for accountants and bookkeepers? My entire funnel only talks to accountants and bookkeepers. If I see this and I am a freaking archaeologist or an astrologist, I'm going to click this. The problem is once I get into the funnel, it's not going to be for me. So everyone and their brother was clicking on my ad. I'm a human design coach. I'm a personal development, whatever. I'm a whatever the heck. I'm a real estate agent. The problem is everyone was clicking it, but no one was taking my upsell because my upsell is how to raise your accounting fees today. My one-time offer is for accountants and bookkeepers, copy and paste content for accountants and bookkeepers, 30-day moneymaker boot camp for accountants and bookkeepers. That means all of the self-liquidating was not happening. So they were only taking the 7 magic posts. So I lost my ever-living mind. This has been running for over a week. All of my ads are so generic. And I said, if I have to tell my own ads agency this, I am going to lose my shit. You guys see how bad this is? And so my entire funnel is geared towards only accounting, bookkeeping, CPAs, financial pros, every single thing within my funnel. The problem is this is so generic and my targeting was so generic that it was making me lose money every single day. Yeah. Frustrating, right? So that was ultimately my last straw. Make sense? And then they
You
gaslighted
sure?
me.
Are you sure you want to stop paying us right now? That's what cracks me up. Yes, goodbye. All right.
So, all right. Kendra had to go. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in and listening to all the things. I normally am not like here to talk shit about anybody, but not that I'm talking shit, but at the end of the day, it was bad ad strategy. And so any kind of marketing that you're doing, guys, like it doesn't matter if it's organic, it doesn't matter if it's ads. The whole thing here is like dog whistle copy. Like make sure you're talking to somebody, right? Like it can't be that generic, right? It can't. Because you're going to get anybody, you can't just have anybody click. You can't have anybody click because if just anybody clicks, but then they get on the phone with you and they're the wrong people, that's a waste of your time. It's a waste of your resources. Doesn't make sense. And so I was like, if I go into my ClickFunnels and what I did, I figured this out. Said, number one, that's why I've been losing money every single day in my funnel. But number two, if you go and look at all of the people who have been opting in, I had astrologists in my funnel now and human design coaches. And I don't want them in my funnel because I don't know how to serve them. I don't know how to help them, right? They're not for me. All right, I gotta go too. I gotta get on a call. Mwah. Yes, light bulb just went off. I'm glad we can help you. Mwah. Love you guys. I'll talk to y'all later.